Hello, it's Dan Newell again, and I'm here to talk about something new. I want to talk today about peer-reviewed articles and believing in politicians or believing in scientists. It sounds like a really dumb topic to talk about, but there seems to be a growing trend where people want to believe in their local politician or their country's leader over believing in the science. Um, First and foremost, 9 times out of 10 you're going to back science. And it's not just as simple as back the first scientist that says something, it's about backing science as a whole. And generally, science has a lot of steps in place that prevent one scientist from coming out with something that might be wrong and trying to convince people to follow them. The best example is vaccines. One scientist come out and said vaccines give autism, and science community rejected that idea and shut it down, and then that guy ended up losing the ability to be a doctor. So, being able to follow and listen to science is a lot easier than being able to just fall in line with your local politician and going, oh, yeah, what they said is right, and I'm going to listen to that no matter what. Um, First and foremost, you want to look for peer reviewed. It sounds like a really dumb thing to say, but when an article comes out, you can't just follow. You can't just listen to it as fact. You need to look at where that article comes from, who it comes from, and whether or not it's peer reviewed. Peer reviewed is really important. Peer reviewed means people in that area have looked at that article and have agreed with it, or in some way proven that it could be fact. Like, peer reviewed is the key thing you should be looking for when it comes to determining whether something is fact or fiction. If a politician says something, that's fine. Politicians can say whatever they want. It doesn't mean that they're wrong. But if your local politician comes out and says something, if you can't find a peer-reviewed article to back it up, good chance they're lying or they're making something up. And it's that simple. Um, so when you hear something on the news, when you hear something from your local politician, when someone comes out and says something, that's good. They should be talking about these things. Before you back it up as fact, and before you back it up as being right or wrong, look for something peer reviewed. It's really that simple. If someone says vaccines give autism, look for a peer reviewed article. Newsflash, you won't find one because they don't. If someone says there is no climate change, look for a peer reviewed article. Fact is, you probably won't, because all of these things, a scientist has come out and said it. It's been peer reviewed by people in the same field. They've looked at it and said, yep, that's right, and they've agreed with them, and it's been released as a peer reviewed article or a peer reviewed journal. Sorry. These are the things we need to be listening to. We need to stop listening to one scientist saying one thing about one thing. We need to start looking at whether or not when that scientist says his thing, whether or not people agree, because that's important. Whether someone agrees with someone, they are the important things, because when in the world have you put your life in the hands of one person saying one thing? You never would and you never will. You'd never go, one person jumps off a cliff and goes, yeah, it's fine. You're a bit, meh, I don't know if that's really true. 20 people do it and they're all fine, you're probably more likely to do it. It's that simple. Um, Look for peer reviewed. Look for articles that have been backed up by other people in that field. It's really important. You see an article on health, you don't go to a labourer and go, oh, is that true? Because he has no idea about health things. If someone says something about climate change, you don't go to a vaccine expert and go, is he right? Because he doesn't know about that area. Someone says something about climate change, you go to climate experts. Someone says something about vaccines, you go to vaccine experts. Someone says something about coronavirus, you go to coronavirus experts. It's really that simple. You need to stop looking at one person's idea on something and taking it as fact and start looking for peer reviewed. I'm Daniel, this is me, this is what I want to talk about. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.